There are only two things that are guaranteed in Roblox: inflation and Adopt Me. This game has been sitting on the front page for over 7 years, which, yeah, that's kind of crazy. On a platform where games fade in and out in a matter of months or weeks. Honestly, Adopt Me has managed to somehow just never leave. It's always there, never gone. And this isn't just some fossil that floats around in the background either. It's been featured in major Roblox events. It's partnered with real world brands. It even did a full collaboration with McDonald's, like actual physical toys and actual Happy Meals. That's a level of exposure most Roblox games will never even come close to. But what I've been wondering is why? Like, how? Since Adopt Me has came out, Roblox, the platform, has evolved more times than I can count. We've seen entire genres rise and fall. We've had major engine updates. The avatar system has changed. UIs got less awful. Games got more cinematic, more social, more polished. And through all of that, Adopt Me has stayed relevant. Right now, as I'm recording this, it's still averaging anywhere from 50,000 to 150,000 players, depending on the time of the day. And it's been doing that for years. Not trending for a week, not popping off and then falling off. It's been consistent. So in today's video, I want to take a proper look at Adopt Me 7 whole years later. I want to dive back into it, see how it actually feels now, and hopefully figure out what's made this game survive for so long. And more importantly, whether it's still actually good or if this is all just being carried by nostalgia. So some background. The game was originally created by 2 Roblox developers, Newfissy and Think, who later rebranded their development team as Uplift Games. And just to be clear, Adopt Me wasn't a never before seen concept when it first launched in 2017. It wasn't trying to reinvent anything. It dropped into a genre that already existed: family style roleplay. There were plenty of games doing something similar at the time: Adopt and Raise a Baby, Adopt and Raise, and all that stuff. For whatever reason, roleplay games centered around pretending to be a baby or a parent have always done really well on Roblox. I personally do not get it, but hey, there's clearly a demand for it. Now, I already know what some of you guys are thinking. Isn't Brookhaven way more popular than Adopt Me these days? And sure, depending on the moment you check, it might be. But Brookhaven didn't get a McDonald's Happy Meal toy. Brookhaven didn't nearly hit 2 million concurrent players at once. Adopt Me did. If you've been around Roblox for a while, you've probably noticed something. A lot of Roblox games borrow, intentionally or not, from games that came before them. Some are just reskins. Others at least try to add something new. But either way, inspiration runs deep here. For example, Regret Vader is clearly pulling from the normal elevator. Pressure has doors directly listed in the description, and that's fine. Most creative spaces work like that. But Adopt Me is weird. I can't point to one single game and say, yeah, this is where they got that idea from, which honestly makes me think they did something rare on Roblox. It carved out its own spot. In a genre that's managed to be melt dry, they still managed to be the version of it. And that's impressive, because making a roleplay game in Roblox is like trying to be a YouTuber in 2025. Everyone's doing it, every idea's been done, and the stuff that gets pushed out usually isn't the most creative. It's just the most optimized. But somehow, Adopt Me has cut through all of that. Let's talk about how Adopt Me actually plays. The gameplay is simple, really simple. Like, it kind of tells you everything in the title. You either play as a baby or a parent, and the entire game is built around that basic structure of role-playing adoption. But here's the thing, that whole baby parent mechanic, it's not even the main draw anymore. The part of Adopt Me that really defines it, what the game is actually built around now, is pets. And if you spent any time on Roblox, you know how it goes with pets in games. They're hit or miss. Sometimes they're cute collectibles. Other times they're just an excuse for monetization. Like, they stop becoming pets and become slot machines with little paws. That's what I call the pet simulator problem, where everything revolves around getting more pets, better pets, shinier pets, and the only real way to do that is through randomized gacha systems. But Adopt Me didn't go all in on that. Not entirely, at least. In this game, you get a pet from an egg and you have to raise it. You feed it, you bathe it, play with it, send it to school. Each of these things slowly level up the pet over time. It's a pretty basic system, but it works. There's progression, but it's not passive. That being said, there's a catch. You can't just speedrun your way through it. The game controls when your pet needs something. You're on its schedule, and that's fine at first. But when you're grinding through the same task day after day across multiple pets and multiple updates, it starts to get tiring, especially when the only way to skip that wait time is to pay. And that brings us to monetization. If you open the Adopt Me shop, it looks kinda insane. There are pages of game passes. It feels more like a mobile RPG than a casual Roblox game. But if you slow down and look at what's actually being sold, it's not as bad as it seems. Most of the passes are just add-ons. Things like vehicles, flying potions, extra bucks. They're just convenience upgrades or looks, not win buttons, not lottery tickets. Compare that to Pet Sim, where every game pass is just another way to give you an advantage. Faster hatching, better luck, more chances to roll the dice. Adopt Me has at least tried to avoid that. Not that it's perfect, you can still buy the game's main currency bucks with Robux. And the exchange rate, genuinely terrible. You can earn bucks by doing activities with your pet, like going to the salon or the playground, but those events are also on timers. So you either have to wait or you pay. That's the trade-off. It's not ideal, but I've definitely seen worse. From a mechanical standpoint, Adopt Me actually runs well. One system that shocked me was the housing. You get your own home, which you can decorate however you want. Floor, walls, furniture, themes. It's all there. It's not super deep, but it's intuitive and polished. Building feels satisfying, and that's rare for a game that's aimed at younger players. Same goes for the UI. Everything is clean and responsive. Menus animate smoothly. Buttons pop in with just the right amount of feedback. You can tell someone spent time making sure everything felt nice to use. That stuff matters more than people think. Visually, the game was ahead of its time. When Adopt Me launched, most Roblox games still looked like, well, Roblox games. Basic studio bricks, default textures, that plasticky look. But Adopt Me went in a totally different direction. They used Blender, imported meshes, rounded out the whole aesthetic. Everything in the world looks so soft, curved, cozy. There are barely any sharp edges. That makes the game feel way more approachable and gives it a unique look and style. And even though custom meshes can mess with collisions and physics, the game runs surprisingly smooth. That's not easy to pull off on Roblox. The pets themselves are animated really good. Their eyes blink, their heads track stuff, their bodies move like actual creatures and not like floating decorations, which is more than I can say for other pet games where the pets just kind of bounce behind you like awkward cubes. Now let's talk about the part of Adopt Me that's genuinely messy. Trading. Trading isn't a new concept. Murder Mystery has it, Pet Sim has it, most collectible heavy games on Roblox have it. But Adopt Me takes it a step further. There are actual third-party sites that track pet values. There's a whole community built around this stuff. Some of the rarest pets are worth thousands of Robux or more if you're dealing off-platform. And that's where the problems start. Where there's value, there's a demand. And where there's demand, there are scams. Adopt Me has had issues with this for years. Players selling pets for real-world money, fake trades, account phishing, all of it. To be fair, this isn't just an Adopt Me issue. Roblox has been dealing with offsite trades and black market limiteds forever. But when your game is built around items that can be traded, and those items have real value, it attracts bad attention. So the trading system is a double-edged sword. It gives the game longevity, but it also opens the door to constant scam attempts. Uplift Games could remove it, but they haven't. And I get why. Because when your entire company is built on one game, you need that game to keep making money. And trading keeps people invested, for better or worse. To wrap it all up, I think Adopt Me is actually a great Roblox game. It's not my kind of game. I'm definitely not the target audience, but I understand the attraction. It's approachable, polished, consistent. It found a formula, and it's been doubling down on it ever since. The fact that an entire game studio exists off the back of this one project is kind of terrifying, but also kind of cool. What I respect most, though, is how they've managed to build a monetization model that, while imperfect, mostly avoids the gambling style mechanics that have taken over other parts of Roblox. And for that alone, it's worth talking about. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.